Order. Captain Jeff Bramer, will you lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call?
Backnick here. McKinney.
Here.
Shaver. Here. Bertone.
Here.
Heights.
Here.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to excuse Mr. Saracey?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Bertone.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
I need to ask council to amend the agenda this evening. I would like to move Resolution 2025-47 up to right after did I ask for a reading of the minutes?
No.
So right after we do the minutes is where I want to move up that legislation for Charles Platia, so we can swear him in. So if I can get that motion real quick.
So moved.
Second.
McKinney.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then I need a motion to approve the minutes from the April 15th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Heights.
Aye.
Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Resolution 2025-47, a resolution confirming the appointment of Charles Platia as a regular police officer for the Village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Suspend Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Adopt Backnick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Charles? How you doing? You look nervous. You good? Come on a little closer. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Charles Platia,
I, Charles Platia,
being duly sworn,
be duly sworn,
dispose and say,
was I
dispose and say,
disposed to say
that I hereby accept the position
that I hereby accept the position
of police officer
of police officer
of the Village of Fairport Harbor,
of the Village of Fairport Harbor,
and that I will support the Constitution
and that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the codified ordinances of the Village of Fairport Harbor,
codified ordinances of the Village of Fairport Harbor,
and I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and honestly
and honestly
perform the duties
and perform the duties
of police
of
officer,
police officer,
together with such other duties
together with such other duties
as may from time to time
as may from time to time
be placed upon me
be placed upon me
by the proper authority.
by the proper authority.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. Shake some hands. He's coming back. There you go.
Well, what else? Right.
All right, so we're good. Play it again.
He must have been scared of you to, shake it across the table here, so.
Okay, it says I have some noise variance requests, and I'm looking through the packet real quick to see where those might be, or Lucas, do you have those?
Yes, so we have 5 different events. The Fairport Harbor Marine Museum and Lighthouse 200th Anniversary Gala on Saturday, June 21st from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Zion Lutheran Church and Family of Faith Christian Church has a tent revival Saturday, August 30th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the times that I'm giving are for noise. They are not the same as the actual event times. The Slovenian Club has 2 different concerts, one on Saturday, June 21st, and one on Saturday, July 19th, both from 6 to 11 p.m. And 501 New 4th Street we'll have a band Saturday, July 5th from 1 to 5 p.m.
Can I have a motion for those variances?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Backnick,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Bertrand,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, from our solicitor, we'll read those out.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep. From our solicitor, Mr. Jim Lyons.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. From our administrator, Lucas Darling.
My report is in your packet, but the guardrail on the 500 block of Prospect Street will likely be replaced near the end of June. The metal part of the guardrail itself will stay. The wooden posts have rotted, and those will be replaced. And the village sent a letter to the Lake County Engineer's Office regarding the condition of the St. Clair Street Bridge. The Lake County Engineer is looking into the bridge condition. The bridge is currently, or the bridge repair project is currently out to bid. I believe they're set to accept bids in June or July. And then included in your,
Any chance they can do some temporary patching? I mean, it's pretty bad.
the
We
email
have-
response that we got back said that or gave the impression that it's more likely that they would close the bridge earlier rather than make repairs. But I did walk out there, and it is very bad. There are multiple sections where there's exposed rebar.
I would ask for a motion or some kind of something from council this evening to ask the
make it.
county engineer to make patches and not close the bridge. And as far as closing the bridge goes, they may want to do that, but they have to talk with police and fire, and there's all kinds of things that go into that. It would be in the safety of the villages, the village residents and others that use our village, that bridge remain open and a small amount of patch be put down. The cost of that compared to what the safety implications are shutting that down for any length of time just doesn't make a lot of sense. And I appreciate where the county engineer's coming from, but again, I think if this body would pass a motion here this evening asking them to put some patch down, I think that would go a long way on top of my
That's
letter.
exactly where I was going.
Yeah,
So
so-
I'll make that motion exactly like the mayor laid it out. If you recorded that length, I know it's on YouTube somewhere, so.
Second.
Bertrand.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Bagley.
Aye.
Shaver. Aye. Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. The last thing that I have is included in your packet is memo OPWC round 40. So Andy and I looked into two major projects for OPWC consideration. And this is funding that we would receive in next June or July of 2026. We looked at both a 3rd Street storm and sanitary sewer project and a catch basin replacement program. Based on the points, we are recommending that the village proceed with a catch basin replacement program. The program, or the application, is split 50-50 between asking for a $200,000 grant from OPWC and then using $200,000 in cash that the Stormwater Trust Fund that the county manages for us has on hand.
What section of 3rd Street?
So we were looking at the 2 and 300 block of 3rd Street. That project gets extraordinarily pricey very quickly, and there is a major unknown in that when Andy was building that project, the cost of taking up the bricks, making the repairs, putting in 8 inches of concrete, and then putting the bricks back. And that major unknown is one of the concerns with that. The other one is OPWC operates on a points system, and projects that get less than 65 points are generally not funded, and that project scored around 58.
Anything else? You good?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone got questions of Lucas? Thank you, sir. From our engineer, Andrew?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things this evening. One, construction's ongoing on 5th Street. The contractor's making good progress. He's doing sanitary sewer and water service line repairs currently. We're looking that he's probably going to be wrapping up with everything probably around the end of June, in the summer sometime. Next is on Orchard Street. The old water tower has been removed. The contractor is working on removing the old foundations, and then that'll be, the park will get restored and reopened here in the next couple of weeks. I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
I don't have any questions. Nice work on the water tower. That was a lot going on there. It's good to see that project starting to wrap itself up. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it was kind of hairy from time to time watching kids playing in a backyard as that steel was being cut and everything else. But it was amazing the way it came down. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of good work and a lot of planning went into that. Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions for Andrew? If not, Christine Page, our fiscal officer.
All right, the report for the month of April is what I have now. For the month of April, our revenue was $332,450.46. Expenditures for the month were $316,213.21. Your cash balance was $4,403,225.11. For the month of April, interest received was $15,211.77. Year-to-date, we've received $51,921.25. As a matter of the year-to-date, our revenue is $2,553,000. $916.39. Expenditures year-to-date are $1,886,690.32. In the financial report are the reconciliation, revenue lists, and check register. Any questions?
I do not.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris. On the old business, ordinance number 2025-44, amending Village Code 1121.07, restrictions in the C2 zoning is on second read. Lucas, do we need to set a public meeting for that, a public hearing?
Yes, at least 30 days out,
Do we want to do that now?
if we could.
So our next meeting is,
June 17th.
June 17th. So could we do it on the 17th, or do we have to do it after that? You said at least 30 days from the 20th?
Yes, we have to publish notice.
So then we
So
want to go...
30 days from today is June 19th.
We want to go with the 24th?
That'll work.
Can we do it here? Or do we want to go,
The 24th, there is a school board meeting that night.
we can go July 1st?
We can. And that's a Tuesday, and we're already here for committee meetings.
Okay. So we'll have a public hearing then on that ordinance July 1st at 6 PM? Or do we want to go earlier? I think our other meetings are before that, right?
Yeah, we normally fill out
Okay.
like around 4:30 and 5.
All right. We'll do it at 6 PM then. Do we need a motion for that, or we just need to do it?
I'll make a motion, Mayor.
Go ahead, make a motion then for July 1st at 6 PM for a public hearing on ordinance 2025-44.
So moved.
Second.
Bertone?
Aye.
Baernick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Frank's not here tonight. Chiefs, do you have anything to report on? No. No, thank you. Appreciate the fine job as always. I need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
I'm sorry, who moved? Thank you. Baernick, or sorry, let me do this again. Bertone?
Aye.
Baernick?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver? Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2025-46, a resolution to place delinquent accounts upon the tax list of the Village of Fairport Harbor for collection and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Or,
Right, okay, so,
Yeah.
Sorry. So who made the Mr. Hines made
Jeff
the
made it, I second.
motion.
yeah, I made it.
He made this.
McKinney?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Baernick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
What will be blanked out? We have to do a motion to adopt and a motion. What's the other motion?
Motion to suspend.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do I need to do a suspend on that?
Pardon me?
Do I need to do a suspend on that?
Yes.
Okay, let's start over.
Move to suspend.
Thank you. Okay.
Second.
All right. Suspend. McKinney?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Now we got it. Baernick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Bertone?
Aye.
Thank you. Adopt. McKinney?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Baernick?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
Heights?
And Bertone, aye.
I had no idea what just happened.
It's okay.
Listen, you got a few more to go to get it right, so.
Wow. Okay.
This one you'll get away with easy, because I'm gonna ask this one to go on first read. So resolution number 2025-48, a resolution directing the administrator to enter into an agreement with the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 7754 for the installation and maintenance of the Fairport Harbor Veterans Memorial and declaring an emergency. Reason why I'm asking for a first read on that, there's some insurance language in here that we're still trying to work through. We thought we had it ready for the meeting tonight, but we don't, but we'll have it ready for a subsequent meeting here, the latest at the next meeting. But I do believe the VFW is planning to do some form of a groundbreaking ceremony on Memorial Day. That's not going to delay any of this. This is really just dotting i's and crossing t's. So let us get that language correct, and then we'll bring it back before council. So that one would go on first read. All right, resolution number 2025-49, a resolution establishing a designated outdoor refreshment area, a DORA, in Fairport Harbor pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 4301-82, enacting regulations therefore and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second. Suspend. Shaver.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Raton.
Aye.
Whites.
Aye.
Adopt. Shaver.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
McKinney.
Abstain.
Raton.
Aye.
Whites.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Resolution number 2025-50, whereas Captain Jeffrey Bramer has completed 30 years of service to the Village of Fairport Harbor, including time spent as part of the service department, and whereas Captain Bramer began his career as a part-time firefighter EMT, graduated paramedic school in 1998, and was hired as a full-time firefighter January 19th, 1999. He was promoted to lieutenant in 2002, captain in 2003, and served as interim fire chief for 8 months in 2017. And whereas Captain Bramer is a recipient of the Ohio Fire Service Heroism Award for his courageous actions during a water rescue in which the victim had become stranded in the Grand River. And whereas Captain Bramer is responsible for the water rescue equipment, emergency medical services, and fire inspection. He is a longtime member of the East Lake County Fire Investigation Unit and has served as chairman of the Radio Users Group. And whereas Captain Bramer also serves his community beyond the fire department, serving as a photographer for the Fairport Harbor Village Schools, attending numerous sporting and community events, and serving as an unofficial historian for the fire department and the village. And whereas Captain Bramer lives in the village with his wife Lisa, daughter Morgan, and son JJ. He is a second-generation firefighter, the son of Captain James Bramer of the Painesville City Fire Department and Cheryl Bramer, both whom also served on Fairport Harbor Fire Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of Fairport Harbor, County of Lake, and State of Ohio, that this council on its own behalf and on behalf of the administration and citizens of Fairport Harbor commends and honors Fire Captain Jeffrey Bramer and thank him for his 30 years of dedication and service to the Village of Fairport Harbor, its residents, and the Fairport Harbor Fire Department. Therefore, this resolution shall be in full force effective immediately upon its passage by council and approved by the mayor. A motion.
Move to adopt.
Second.
No.
Raton.
Aye.
Whites.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Thank you.
Come on up, Jeff. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And listen, these are, you don't have to sign anything. I think I signed it already. But anyway, let me keep the white copy. We'll get you a frame too, so you can burn it later or whatever. But listen, let me say a couple of things about Jeff while he's standing here, because he hates the spotlight. One of the pieces there was the 7 months he served as our fire chief. I really wanted Jeff to be our next fire chief when Chief Hoja left. Jeff really didn't want to be the fire chief. And he didn't want to be the fire chief so bad, he went and recruited Bob. Okay?
It was a good move.
It was a good move, and I guess what I'm saying there is one of the things about Jeff, and I've known Jeff personally for a lot of years, is the humility that Jeff brings to this job. It just shows you, there's a lot of guys that would get that opportunity to be the chief and just would want it and keep it. Jeff knew it wasn't the right thing for him, he knew it wasn't the right thing for the village, but went out and recruited the right guy for us, and I think we can all agree that it worked out well. I enjoy Friday nights with you. You know, I do the chain gang, and Jeff is right next to me doing the photography and stuff like that. So we've got to spend a lot of time raising the kids together and watching each other's families grow. 30 years is a long time, and thank you for it. And really, the words don't say enough. We really do appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, really, so.
Yes, you have.
I don't have. That's right.
Okay, Resolution 2025-51, whereas in 1825, as the village of Fairport Harbor, then known as Grandin, began to thrive as a port at the mouth of the Grand River, the federal government recognized the need for a beacon to guide vessels safely into the harbor through the often turbulent waters of Lake Erie. And whereas that same year, construction was completed on a lighthouse and adjacent keeper's dwelling built by Hiram Wood and Jonathan Goldsmith, with a fixed oil lamp exhibited from its lantern to become one of only 8 lighthouses then serving the Great Lakes. By 1871, after decades of service, a new sandstone tower and brick keeper's dwelling were constructed, incorporating a third-order Frenzo lens, which continued to shine for another 54 years. And whereas the village is where the Fairport Harbor Lighthouse was staffed by dedicated keepers who braved Lake Erie's fierce winters and storms to ensure the safety of vessels entering the harbor, including Samuel Butler, who served from 1825 to 1833, Elijah Dixon, he served from 1833 to 1839, Jeremiah O'Block, 1839, Nehemiah Merritt, 1839 to 1841, Samuel Butler had such a good time, he did it again from 1841 to 1845. Thomas Greer, 1845 to 1846. Isaac Spear from 1846 to 1849. Hendrick E. Payne, 1849 to 1853. Olmsted Baker, 1853 to 1856. Halsey H. Baker, 1856 to 1861. James McAdams, 1861 to 1865, George F. Rogers, 1865 to 1871, Joseph C. Babcock, 1871 to 1888, George L. Riker, 1881 to 1900, Joseph C. Babcock, 1900 to 1919, and Daniel I. Babcock from 1919 to 1925. And whereas the Fairport Harbor Lighthouse faithfully served mariners during a century of growth and transformation from wooden schooners to steel freighters through war and peace before being decommissioned in 1925 and narrowly saved from demolition by the passionate advocacy and the people of Fairport Harbor. And whereas in 1945 the Fairport Harbor Historical Society was founded to preserve the lighthouse and open the Fairport Harbor Marine Museum, ensuring that future generations could learn and be inspired by this treasured piece of American maritime history. Now, therefore, the mayor and the village of Fairport Harbor proudly recognize and celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Fairport Harbor Lighthouse, its keepers, its history, and its enduring light as a symbol of our community's preservation and maritime heritage. That this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its passage by council and approval by the mayor. Motion to approve.
Move to adopt, Mayor.
Second.
Bertone,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Daphne,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Marty, are you still here? Marty O'Gara? She left. Tony, would you take this to the lighthouse for us?
I will take it over.
Thank you, appreciate it. And they're having a 200-year celebration this year. I'm going to get the dates wrong. I want to say it's June 21st. There's tickets available, there's a gala going on. Stop in and see it this summer, invite your friends and your family. It's a wonderful monument to go to. The dedicated volunteers over these many, many years to keep that in the shape that it's in it's truly something to behold, and we can't thank those volunteers enough. Resolution number 2025-52, whereas the Fairport Harbor West Breakwater Light, a beacon of safety and maritime heritage, was first illuminated in June 9th, 1925, serving as a vital navigational aid for mariners on Lake Erie at the mouth of the Grand River. And whereas this picturesque and resilient 42-foot tower and its attached keeper's cottage was built with ingenuity at the Buffalo Lighthouse Depot and transported over 147 miles to its permanent home in Fairport Harbor, where it replaced an earlier skeletal tower and became a vital part of Ohio's navigational infrastructure. And whereas the Fairport Harbor West Breakwater Light served the U.S. Lighthouse Service and U.S. Coast Guard faithfully, staffed by dedicated keepers who braved Lake Erie's fierce winters and storms to ensure the safety of vessels entering the harbor, including Daniel J. Babcock, 1925 to 1926, Frank Huntington, 1926 to 1927, Frank LaRose, 1927 to 1937, John E. Brophy, 1937 to 1944, and Herman N. Barr, 1947 to 1948. And whereas the beacon has shown continuously as an active aid navigation for 100 years, maintained faithfully by the U.S. Coast Guard, and the building transferred to private ownership through public auction, culminating in its purchase by Sheila Consolo in 2011, who has since undertaken a remarkable effort to restore and preserve the lighthouse as a summer home and historic treasure. And whereas this centennial mark not only the enduring presence of the lighthouse, but also the spirit of Fairport Harbor, a community that values its history, honors its maritime legacy, and continues to celebrate the structures and stories that define its shoreline. Now, therefore, the mayor and the village of Fairport Harbor proudly recognize and celebrate the centennial anniversary of the Fairport Harbor West Breakwater Light, honoring its legacy, the people who built, served, and preserved it, and the continuing inspiration it provides to all who see it. This resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon passage by council. Motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Beckman? Aye. McKinney?
Aye.
Shaver? Aye. Duval?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution 2025-53, a resolution congratulating and honoring McKinley Elementary School on its selection as a 2025 Hall of Fame school and declaring an emergency. Whereas the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators each year designates only a select group of schools as Hall of Fame schools for providing truly outstanding educational opportunities to their students through effective programming and instruction, and for cultivating an atmosphere of growth, achievement, pride, and dedication to excellence. And whereas McKinley Elementary School was one of only 7 schools statewide to earn the 2025 Hall of Fame school distinction, and whereas Principal Heidi Elmore, McKinley's faculty and staff, students, parents, and community exemplified the spirit of collaboration and excellence that underpins this honor. And now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of Fairport Harbor and the County of Lake, State of Ohio as follows. The council hereby extends its heartfelt congratulations to McKinley Elementary School Principal Heidi Elmore, the entire staff, student body, families, and community members for achieving this prestigious designation of the 2025 OAE-SH Hall of Fame School. That this council finds and determines that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the adoption of this legislation were taken in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and any of its committees that resulted in those formal actions were in the meetings open to the public in compliance with law. That this resolution is deemed to be an emergency for the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the village to enable timely recognition of McKinley Elementary School and shall take effect immediately upon adoption. Motion to approve.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Suspend? Heights?
No.
No, these are all just
But aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Duval?
Aye.
Shaver?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Beckman?
Aye. You're doing great.
Anybody here from the school? Karen? Would you like to take the resolution?
We still need Frank's
Thank you.
signature.
What's that?
Frank's signature.
That's right. Sorry, I need one more signature, sorry. Sorry, but thank you, Karen, for being willing. All right, and the last resolution for this evening. Resolution 2025-54, whereas Mr. William Peden began his career with the United States Postal Service in June of 1992 as a distribution clerk at the Painesville Post Office, and whereas over the course of 32 years, Willard served the Postal Service with integrity, professionalism, and a steadfast commitment to counter service, ultimately becoming a window clerk in the Fairport Harbor beginning in March 2016. And whereas Willard became familiar and a trusted presence in the Fairport Harbor Post Office, where he greeted residents with warmth, kindness, and a sense of humor that made every visit more enjoyable. And whereas his extensive knowledge of postal operations and union rules, along with his commitment to mentoring others, most notably training his successor, Tom Benson, has strengthened the local postal team and ensured continued excellence in service. Whereas Willard officially retired April 30th, 2025, leaving a legacy of dedication, laughter, and community connection. And whereas in retirement, Willard looks forward to enjoying new hobbies, traveling to historic places like Gettysburg, relaxing, playing video games, walking his dog, cooking out, and spending time with friends around bonfires. Now therefore, I, Timothy Manross, Mayor of the Village of Fairport Harbor, on behalf of our entire community, do hereby recognize and honor William for his remarkable 32 years of service to the United States Postal Service and for the lasting positive impact he made on the people of Fairport Harbor. We extend our heartfelt congratulations on his retirement and offer our sincere thanks for a job exceptionally well done. Motion to approve.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Shaver?
Aye.
Beckett?
Aye.
McKinney?
Aye.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't have anything else this evening. I think I spoke quite enough. Council have anything?
Real quick, can we just note what we have going on this weekend for Memorial Day?
8:30 at the pier, starts off the memorial celebrations. I think 9 o'clock will be Veterans Park. Like I said, I think there might be some, I don't know if it'll be a formal groundbreaking, but there'll be some mention of what's going to happen with the memorial. And then I believe it's 9:30 at the cemetery, so it's half hours in between them. So that's what's going on, and that is on Monday, Memorial Day. Rain or shine, we expect to see you out there. Okay, I'm open to the public. Karen, you got your one at the public session. I wasn't kidding. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Karen Bidlack, 635 Eagle Street. So with the demolition of the water tower on Orchard Street, once that's complete, what's going to happen with that property?
You know, I don't know that we have any immediate plans for it. I don't know if we'll expand the park or if we'll parcel it off. We'll just see where it goes here, but we don't have anything planned immediately.
Is anything going to happen to the Orchard playground?
Like I said, we may expand the park. I don't know.
Okay.
We really haven't given
I
it
didn't
much
know.
more thought in getting it down.
The other thing, referring to the DORA. So I think you said something that's going to make it easier for the events that are going to be happening in the park. So like for right now, like Hogs and Hot Rods, they usually section off for anyone to leave with alcohol. Same with when the Cultural Alliance has their concerts in the park. So are there not going to be any flags now? Those will be, so is that what you're saying?
I think Lucas and the chief could answer that as far as that goes. I don't think we'll have to designate it. We won't, I would think because it's part of a door now, you don't have to flag it. You still, as far as the permit go, you're gonna have to say where you're selling.
You still have to,
You know, you
comply
still
with
got-
the Department of Commerce?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. If nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
We have an executive session on the agenda.
Oh, we have an executive, I'm sorry about that.
We've got to adjourn from this meeting.
Right, we do,
So
we do.
motion to adjourn.
So, let me just, okay, so we are going to go into executive session to consider purchase of a property for public purposes in accordance with ORC 121.22. We will not be taking any action coming out of that meeting, but we do need to make an adjournment here to go into executive session.
Motion to adjourn to executive session.
Second.
Bertrand?
Aye.
Schuler? Aye. Berkner? Aye. McKinnon?
Aye.
Price?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.